அந்த காலத்துல கிங்ஸ் ரூல்ஸ் இருந்தப்போ எலெக்ஷன்ஸ் இருந்ததா?
There was one particular Sangam literature poem as a reference to elections. So the election was called Kudavolai. What they do is there will be candidates and people used to write the name of the person they want to elect and put it in a pot. Kudavolai is Kudam is a pot and Volai is a palm leaf, palm scribe. So you write the name of the person you want to elect and put it in the pot, and the person getting the highest number of votes will occupy that position. But over a period of time, this got refined. The best example of Kodavolai is the inscription of Parantaka Chola in Uttaramerur. He clearly gives a list of do's and don'ts for local elections. He tells people who you should elect, who you should not elect. He puts certain conditions saying that these are the people who are qualified to run for the elections and these are the people who cannot run for the elections. But those rules were quite rigid at that point in time. He says that a particular person should own this much of land, he should have a own house, and he should have this much of wealth, probably because he thought that by electing a rich person he would be able to do more to the society and he may not steal from the office. So that's the kind of democracy they had earlier. So there was elections, but the elections were mostly confined to only a set of people. So you should be either rich or powerful. The common man did not have that kind of right to contest the elections. But this slightly changed when Rajaraja Chola came to power. Rajaraja Chola introduced a slightly refined Kodavolai system. He came up with a list of his own eligibility criteria, you can say. And one such condition is that the person running for an election to public office should not have committed the 5 great sins. That is the Panchama Badhangal, which is adultery, fraud, and using public property for personal use, default of delay of taxes to the government, and killing a Brahmin, which was considered to be a very serious crime, the worst of all the 5 crimes. And one very interesting rule he had was, if you get elected to the government, elected to a particular position, and you serve a 5-year term. It was a 5-year term even then. And once you complete your 5-year term, you and your family members cannot run for that post again for the next 5 years. And but still, if you look at the democracy, still there was a kind of security deposit which we have even today. Even today, I won't say that we have 100% democracy. You again restrict democracy to only a set of people who can pay that security deposit. You get it back if you get certain number of votes, that's fine. But still, initially, you are making it you are restricting eligibility to only a few people who can afford to pay that. A similar condition existed then also. So you can say it was a kind of semi-democracy. People were still able to vote, even though they did not have choice in the nomination of the candidates. They still can find they can find out who is the best among the lot or who is the worst among the lot, and then vote accordingly. That made the local bodies more robust. That's one reason why the local bodies were able to thrive independently. Whatever happened to the king, whatever happened to the central government, the local bodies were not disturbed, for the simple reason that there were elected representatives. They had their own way of generating revenue through the lease of ponds or donation, the donation they received to the temples, the lands gifted to the government, gifted by the government. So the local bodies were very robust. The local bodies had nothing to do with the central government except for the annual grant they used to receive.